Hi Virgo, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with your reading, what you need to know for February. The first card that we have out is Five of Cups. And the Star, okay. With Five of Cups, there can be something that you're still coming to terms with emotionally. You can still feel upset about this. You can still be feeling down about it. You can still be feeling disappointed. However, having the Star next to it, it feels like there's a healing that's happening in relation to this situation. So even though there's going to be this time that it's taking to process, having the Star there feels like knowing that the universe has not turned its back on you. And I even feel, Virgo, that in the beginning of February, the feeling is going to be, this may not have been exactly what I planned for. This may not have been exactly what I expected. And you can even be feeling, sad. You can feel disappointed. You can be going through a process of grieving. At the same time, having the Star there, I feel like there is hope, and I feel like there's a sense of connection. So you know, when you're holding both of those things of I'm feeling hopeful about things, and I do feel like this is the right way and that I'm in the right place because I see the Star as being connected to that, and like this is my truth, this is what's true for me, while also feeling like I'm still coming to terms with everything. So instead of this being a time where it's like I'm trying to come to terms and I'm just feeling so hopeless, it feels like you're still connected with the Star while you're going through this time. And so you can feel like I'm still processing this, but I know everything's going to be okay. Like everything even is okay. I just need some time to move through this. That's what I'm seeing is characterized by it feels like the beginning of February. This can be when it's felt most prominently. You can also feel like this is opening you up to other opportunities, and maybe ones that are going to feel a bit more your speed. I even feel something going on that I want to be sure not to dismiss what's happening. Like there can be something going on that feels inspiring to you or feels hopeful to you, and you can also be dealing with things, and it feels like both of those things. So just know if I'm talking about feeling like your path is becoming more clear, feeling like you have a sense of purpose and direction, it's not dismissing that you're also going through something as well. And if I'm talking about you feeling sad about something, going through a process of grieving or just coming to terms, reconciling with how you feel, that also doesn't mean that that's it and that you're not also going to feel hopeful. I'm seeing it be, or that you're not also healing as you're moving through this. So just know that it feels a bit like this is happening and also this is happening, and you can feel like you go back and forth between the two a bit. What do you want for your life? This is also that things can come into a place of balance, true harmony for you on a personal level. Like when it's just you with you and you're being honest with yourself, you know that this was necessary. In order for you to feel at peace, in order for you to feel like that true balance within your personal life, this was necessary. It can be like your personal life, your home life, your personal relationships. So you're just working with the feelings, working through the feelings. Wow, how about that? The Seven of Swords is coming out reversed, and I'm seeing that be connected with the Queen of Pentacles. So I'd say maybe there was something going on where you weren't totally being honest with yourself about something. I'm not seeing that be the case anymore. but this can be like I'm turning something around, or I'm willing to look at it now. I'm taking myself out of that space. I'm allowing myself to move forward. What this is connected with is there could have been something that was going on that it was hard to look at and admit what it was and what that meant for you on a personal level. Meaning maybe there was something here that you didn't want to fully address, or maybe didn't even want to fully look at, and you could have felt like it wasn't totally aligned for you, and it was aligned with something that maybe wasn't somewhere you wanted to be aligned with. But you could have also been maybe not wanting to see that for lots of different reasons, you know. Then there's the admitting of what's really going on and how you really feel about things and what you really think and whether it works or not. And this can be a time too where you have needs, you have standards, you have values, and something was going on and it feels like it was not fully compatible with that. So you could have been feeling out of place because of this. You could have also felt like something would be more compatible. Just feels like trying to make something work that wasn't necessarily working, and you could have had a hard time admitting that to yourself. But now, especially in that second week, I'm seeing this feel very obvious to you. So it's like you're seeing everything that you weren't ready to see before, and I feel like you're really getting on the same page with yourself here. I'm seeing that this is a big chapter that you are beginning for yourself, and you can feel like you are right where you are supposed to be, right where you're meant to be. There's no more going backwards. Nice. We have the Six of Wands here. All of this stuff that you've been doing. So I'd say the first 2 weeks of February, by the end of that second week, it feels like getting into this place where you're seeing where you had been shortchanging yourself. I think like where you had been, this can be times when you had been maybe over giving. This can be times when you could have been neglecting yourself, because we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is the part of us that showing up is important, and also too, we need to be in situations that feel sustainable. You could have been involved in something that wasn't sustainable and also been having a hard time acknowledging that as well. But it would have been something that wasn't sitting well with you. You would have felt unsettled within it. It just could have felt hard to do, because I feel like this is one of those times when it's like it may not have really impacted anybody, like it may not have disadvantaged anyone except for you. And so that's going to be a personal problem there with this. And that could have been something where you were having a hard time seeing yourself through that situation. So if you're underselling yourself in some way and you're like, I can deal with it, or I can just like do this for myself or make it up to myself, it can be a time where you're really starting to run low, and it feels like something has happened now where this is coming it back into a place of balance. So you can feel like things are balanced again. This is exactly what I'm doing. I feel like this is a harmonious setup that I'm developing here, and I'm recognizing what that is. This means that you're going to be feeling an increased sense of stability. You can also feel like you're getting into a place where you want to be with yourself. You're showing up for yourself. You're taking care of yourself. You're tuning in and listening to yourself and then taking action based off of that. You're not neglecting yourself here. Queen of Pentacles is the part of us that we need to show up for ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to nurture ourselves. We need to mother ourselves in some way. And with that Seven of Swords, I'm wondering if there was some type of self-neglect that was happening where you could have been writing it off, but it's not, you weren't aware of it and doing it anyway. It feels like something that you just hadn't been ready to see yet, but now at this point I'm seeing that you're fully aware of everything that had been going on, and it feels like this is really what allows that balance to come back in that wasn't there before. But it could have been difficult to do, and you could have felt like whatever this was that you were working with, for some of you this could have been somebody that was around you. It just feels like there wasn't maybe a support, you know. You could have had somebody that maybe wasn't looking out for your best interest here. I'm not saying that it was on purpose. It could have just been a situation where it's like somebody wasn't able to support you in that way, in a way that was like maybe the best for you. And so this is about you stepping up and doing that for yourself here and making the necessary calls. And I'm seeing that this is like a new chapter that you are giving to yourself, and it really feels right, even though you're still dealing with things and still processing things and moving through things. You know in your heart that this is where you're meant to be. And I feel like you're gonna feel like peace at home because of this. Peace within your personal life because of this. It's like all that stuff that's closest to home is gonna feel like it's coming back into that place where everything's working the way that it's supposed to. We're gonna pull a separate spread for the last 2 weeks. So you're totally back on track. By mid-February, you feel like you're totally back on track. And I'd say, too, that those heavier feelings feel like much more fleeting than they did at the beginning of the month. Still moving through a time of acceptance. I feel to you not letting regrets or anything like that hold you down or hold you back. Yeah. This new chapter that you are beginning is one where you are cultivating that harmony and balance within your personal life. Some of you can be specifically within your relationships. Okay, so this next spread is going to be for the last 2 weeks of February, so I'd say like mid-February to end of February. Okay, we are starting with the Ace of Cups. I'm also seeing the Devil. You're going to have somebody coming through trying to negotiate something with you. You're going to have to make a choice. Having the Ace of Cups be connected with the Devil, when this situation is going on, it means that it's a time when you can separate the real versus what may be posing as something real, but it's not going to deliver what you're looking for. When we have Ace of Cups and the Devil, it's going to be some type of situation that comes through that is saying, hey, do you want to connect in some way? Do you want to be a part of this in some way? It can be somebody coming through and saying, hey, I want to have this relationship with you. Let's use that example, okay? But because the Devil is connected to it, this is something that can really have you spiraling downward in a way that you don't want to. If it were the Ace of Cups alone, this would be something where you could grow. You could, what's the word that I'm looking for here? You could invest in intimacy, connection, love. This can be something that you build upon. But when the Devil is there, this is an energy that may pose as love, but then it's going to feel like something else. So it can feel like codependency. It can look like love at first, but then it gets toxic. It's going to be something where whenever the Devil is attached to it, it's going to be the choice of true love versus something that may be calling itself love, but that's not really what it is. Something that may be calling itself connection, and it really isn't that. So you get to have that choice here. Having Two of Swords can be a matter of you discerning that. I do very much see this as something that's coming in, showing up and saying, hey, do you want to be part of this? Or, hey, I want to connect with you. But seeing the Devil be there, I feel like you would already know that this isn't a great idea for you. And you would know, too, that this would be a very sticky situation if you were to get involved. However, because we have the Devil there, it can feel very tempting. So it's something that can feel seductive to you for some reason to get involved with it. That's the trick of it. You know, like the Devil isn't going to show up and be intimidating and scary and like, wow, this is going to be something that you're not going to enjoy. It's going to come through in a way that will feel appealing to you. And at the same time, it will feel like something is going on with it that makes you stop for a second and say, I don't know about this. Pay attention to that, please. Because this is something that can really end up costing you a lot. And I feel in a taxing, emotional type of way. I'm hearing something about a ticket to freedom. I feel even too like this could turn like something into a turbo speed type of situation that goes in a direction that you do not want to be going into. I'm seeing Ace of Cups, I'm seeing the Devil, then I'm seeing the Ace of Wands, which feels like this thing blowing up and becoming even more intense. I feel too like this is something that could potentially come through and say, hey, wouldn't it be easier to go this way? Like, because it's the Ace of Cups, it can be like, then you won't have to be alone, or like we can have this with each other, or if you sign on to this, then like we can help you in this way. And this feels very much like what I'm seeing within your energy is that you have something here that you're very well equipped to be doing yourself. You need to trust that, you need to believe in this, and you need to not take something because you feel like it's your only option here when you know already that you'd be signing on for something where you would have to negotiate stuff that you're not going to want to negotiate at the end of the day. This is something where it's like you sign on for it, you get connected with it, you get attached, and then you're chained to that. And then it's going to be something that starts pulling your energy, draining your energy, and it's going to feel like it costs you your peace. And it's not something that you need to get involved in. I'm seeing Capricorn and I'm seeing Leo. This is going to be connected with somebody that you know. I'm seeing Six of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Some of you can even, it feels like being offered something, but it's going to be like, here you have the opportunity. Do you want to get involved in this? Or like just say yes to it. It feels like that. So it's something that's potentially like trying to connect with you, trying to attach. And you get to say what you want to do with this. But I will say when it comes through, this is not something where there's going to be a part of you that can feel drawn to this because the Devil is there. There's going to be something within you, and it can be connected with your wounding, that is going to be like, yes, let's go in this direction. You know better than that. So it's going to be, am I going to impulsively move in this direction without thinking this through when I can use my better judgment here? Or am I going to stand strong within this situation? And even though it may be very, very difficult to say no to this, am I going to stand strong within that, within myself? Am I going to stay in my center? And you have the choice of what you do. This is a karmic test. This is a thing too where it's that notion of choosing between being in a place of true love versus something that, again, may be calling itself that and it's not. And recognizing the difference between the two. And not having this be something that, this is not something that has that type of power over you unless you give your power to it and you get to make the choice. And if you wait, you will see that. So I'd say more than anything, if this is something that you feel unsure about, wait it out. If you don't want to immediately say no, wait it out. I feel like this will, if you say yes to this, it's going to have you doing things you don't want to be doing. Get you to do things you don't want to be doing. Get you to be signing on for things you don't want to be signing on for. It's not going to pose it like that in the beginning. That is where it will lead to. And you're hearing this now, so you know better. Just to have the heads up about this. I'm seeing this be tied to a relationship. I'm looking at the lovers here. I'm seeing Gemini. I'm hearing Scorpio. I'm seeing Leo, Sagittarius, and we also have Capricorn here. Yeah, I do get a sense of somebody showing up. You can choose this. It feels too like, for those of you that you're thinking about relationships, feels like you can choose something that is not really going to, you can choose the type of situation that is not going to materialize in a way where you're going to be able to connect with what you are truly looking to connect with, versus taking your time and waiting for the actual thing that you want to be materializing. This is not it. And as much as it's like, I know it's like not great to be hearing that, right? Like we want to hear that what we want is happening when we want it to happen and all of that. I'm seeing the devil be attached to this relationship. I'm seeing that it may not be easy for you to stand strong. That's what's being suggested. This thing, I feel like, is going to come through and possibly pose itself in a light that is similar to what you're looking for. It is not what you're looking for. Not with the devil attached to it. If the devil was not here, that would be another story. But having the devil attached to it shows that it's going to be something that it sucks you in. You get connected to it. It's not going to be easy to separate yourself from. And then it's going into one of those cycles where you get to, it's not going to be a type of cycle that's going to be one where you get to experience the type of relationship that you're looking for. But it can feel very difficult to say no to this. I'd say too that you already know this is an unhealthy dynamic. You know that when this appears. So there's going to be somebody coming through. The situation has not changed. They have not changed. The dynamic has not changed. It's going to be the same cycle, the same thing. It's not going to be a new situation. It doesn't matter what one is coming through and saying. What I'm seeing is that it's going to be the same ride on the merry-go-round that you've already gone through. Keep that in mind when this appears. And I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it too. If you don't care and you're like, no, I want to go on the merry-go-round again, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make the choice that you make knowing what's what. This is not going to be a new situation with this person. It's going to be the same thing again. So it will be something that you get caught up within. It's very hard to detangle yourself from situations like this, but it's not wrong if this is what you end up choosing, but just know it's not going to be what you're looking for at the end of the day, and it will ultimately be something that ends and you'll be like, now I need to go on and look for what I'm really looking for. So you have the choice now. It feels kind of like being at a crossroads. You can go back into this and have this be another repeat cycle of something that you've already experienced before, but possibly if you go in that direction, it's like, for some reason, want to experience it again. It will not be a new situation. Or you can say no to this and say, universe, give me what I'm really looking for, and then you keep it moving here. But don't fool yourself into thinking that this is what you want. It's going to be one of those situations where it may kind of look like that. Things take a different turn. It's going to be the same old situation again. And then you're back here again. So just recognize that, okay? I'm seeing Leo, I'm seeing Gemini, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. This can be something that it feels difficult to work with. I think it's just going to be reflective of where you are with yourself and what you're ready for at this point, and whether you're going to take something that maybe like near-ish or kind of looking like something you want versus waiting until something comes through that's really what you actually want, that you will feel fulfilled with. Not something that looks like what you want, but something that actually is what you want. Are you willing to say no to this to have what you really do want? Or is this another time where you have to go around again just to recognize that this isn't what you want? I feel like a commitment of some sort would be involved in this if you took this on. Like, you would be signing up to be entering into this dance with this person, playing a particular role with them. Something that you know well for some of you. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.